And now, from Candlestick Point in San Francisco, California, it's the Stick Niner Empire Podcast Show with your hosts, Iron Mike Arango, Lucas Ortiz, and Lucas McLaughlin. Go Niners!
Welcome to your Stick Niner Empire Podcast. As always, I'm one of your three hosts here today. I am Iron Mike Arango. I'm here with Lucas McLaughlin. Ortiz is on assignment here, but we had a wonderful, awesome game this week, guys. The Niners won by the score of 33-17. Lots to talk about, starting with the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo, our quarterback, who's been playing great the last four games, went down with a fractured foot for the rest of the season. At least that's what they initially said. He would be out right around 7 to 8 weeks. All of a sudden, it's like 4 to 6 weeks. And now it's all up in the air. He might be back by the playoffs. Trey Lance is already running around. He might be back by the playoffs, although Kyle Shanahan is quick to cut that down. In the meanwhile, Purdy steps in. Purdy, gotta say that. I'm sorry. Steps in and he performs absolutely incredible. Very happy for the guy.
So Lucas Ortiz was on assignment, but we've got him right here, live and well, and coming at you from Arizona. Lucas, a lot of things have transpired, and we couldn't have a show like that after a game like that one without having a little bit of you involved. So, dude, Garoppolo's down, but maybe back by the playoff time, huh?
Big bombshell announcement. So we were all under the understanding that he was going to be gone for the season. No way he's going to come back. Maybe not even be ready for the beginning of the next season. If the Niners were to sign him back as maybe plan B, if Trey Lance can't be healthy at the beginning of the season, it'd be nice to have Garoppolo back next season. So interesting, right? Like we're going to maybe have him back by week 2 of the playoffs. NFC championship game at the latest.
Yeah.
And kind of changes the thinking. Now there's a little more optimism that we actually can win the Super Bowl. I think this team is going to be good enough to get it at least to the divisional game. Like we're going to have to probably play against a really good wild card team week 1 in the playoffs. Whoever that is, I'm pretty confident that we're going to win and we're going to get to the divisional game and hopefully have Jimmy back. You know, as much as I loved Purdy in this last game, coming in and getting the win after Jimmy got hurt after the first drive, he's still young. He's a rookie quarterback. You know, when it comes down to the playoffs, I really want to have that veteran quarterback behind the center, you know, taking snaps and leading our team to victory. So, yeah, Brock, get us there to the playoffs. Jimmy, get us that Super Bowl win.
What do we do, Lucas, if Purdy for the next 4 or 5 games plays extremely well and Jimmy comes back, let's say, I don't know, the NFC Championship? Do we start Jimmy? Do we roll with the hot hand? Your take.
I think it's something that it really tells something about Shanahan's system, because he could plug a serviceable quarterback in there, irrelevant quarterback, whatever you want to call it, who's going to still be able to function because we have so many weapons. And it's all going to come down to whether or not those weapons can stay healthy. And, of course, Jimmy's now hurt. And interestingly, you know, I think the locker room, from what I hear, was pretty somber after the game. Even though they won, people are thinking about Jimmy. And, you know, he got us this far. And now he may not have the surgery, which is kind of interesting. Maybe they'll just put him out there in a wheelchair. What do you think?
Yeah, in my opinion, I think it depends on how Purdy is winning. Yeah. If we're winning and it's mostly the running game, short passes, he's playing more of the game manager or playing, you know, adequate and getting some wins here and there. I say we still got to go to Jimmy if he's healthy and available. There was an interesting quote that Trent Williams had today about Purdy, and I thought it was pretty interesting. He said he doesn't act like a rookie. He will tell people when they speak out of turn or in meetings to shut their asses up. And I just thought that was hilarious. You know, I kind of like that about him. He's not scared. He's not afraid to to take control of the room and take control of the huddle. More importantly, he was a stud quarterback at Iowa State for 4 years.
Kyle Shanahan's going to have a hell of a decision to make. Now, I feel like if he's kind of up and down, if Jimmy's ready, you play Jimmy. But
definitely,
what if he's playing well? What if he wins the next 4 out of 5 or something like that?
I mean,
and
I think
a playoff win or two.
Purdy is going to do pretty well just because he's on this team. This team is really stacked. We're really deep. We're really good, and they're not going to stop for anything. So Jimmy's out. The next guy up. It'll be interesting to see. Because right now, defenses are not going to have much to go on, right? They don't have a lot of film to watch. They don't have most of it's irrelevant, right? So they don't have a lot of video to see of Purdy and what his tendencies are. And, like guys even like Colin Kaepernick, he did really well until they got that script on him, right? He rolls left,
he didn't
he
change
always
up his game.
runs, he rolls right.
This
happens.
His game.
He was only good with Harbaugh because Harbaugh's a quarterback. Harbaugh knew what to tell him and when. But with Purdy, we've got some interesting things going on here because he's poised to take us all the way. I mean, if need be.
He's courageous.
You know what? The funniest thing, I don't know if you heard this, Mike, watching the press conference just made me laugh because he said they asked him about what's it going to be like to go against Tom Brady. And he said, well, Tom Brady has been playing football and as a quarterback for longer than I've been alive.
It's true. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, that guy's been playing quarterback for longer than I've been alive.
Yeah, and it's true.
Awesome.
It's scary. It makes me feel old.
I'll tell you one thing before we get off of him real quick.
Yeah.
Did you see that pass that he threw in the end zone that was dropped in triple coverage? I think it was Ayuk, and he dropped it. And then the announcer came back. I told my buddy, I was like, he couldn't throw to a tighter window. The announcer came back with my exact remark. Like, he couldn't have thrown to a tighter window. Now, here's the thing about Purdy. He doesn't have that much zip on the ball as far as throwing like a line drive straight ahead, like bam, like that.
Neither did Joe Montana, to be honest.
Neither did him, but Joe Montana was the greatest quarterback
I've
ever seen. He had the finesse.
He had the touch.
With anticipation.
Yeah.
Joe Montana can anticipate when you're going to break open, when you're going to hit your stride. That's the best thing that Purdy brings to his game. When you look at that pass, I want you to go back and I want you to look at that game. Just about everything he throws floats. He couldn't float this one. Threw it with a little bit more zip. It was a short pass. But, man, he got it right into the hands where there was just the tightest window ever. And even the announcers noticed. So, as far as I'm concerned, I am never calling this guy Mr. Irrelevant again, because yesterday was a playoff-type game against a really hell of a good team. It was a playoff atmosphere, and this kid pulled us through. I thought when I saw Jimmy going down, I was terrified. He looked at the other team in the eyes. He had courage. He had the guts to call the plays that were given into his headset, and he made it happen. Aside from the fact that a few times he had to call a necessary timeout because he was confused, hey, man, that's the right thing to do. I think he made nothing but excellent decisions. Your thoughts, and then we'll speak about the defense.
I think you're right. Now, here's the thing. If Jimmy comes back, he plays. If he's healthy enough to play, he plays. If he doesn't, it's because he's not healthy enough to play. Sometimes players, they just want to play so bad, and he goes out there, and it's obvious that he can't do it, then no. But I don't think Purdy's going to have 3 wins and then, have this controversy. It's more like I could probably be quarterback in this system. I mean, with the guys that they have, McCaffrey is playing out of his head like that. That alone, guys like him and Debo and then Kittle he kind of took a step back. We did a lot of blocking. He does a lot for the running game. I mean, he's got the Pro Bowl team. And so, Purdy probably will do pretty well. I mean, I freaking hope so. That we need to keep going with this. And they're talking about maybe going out and getting another quarterback to back him up or to take his job.
Well, we picked up Josh Johnson today.
We did.
Josh Johnson today.
So
Josh Johnson, he's got the talent. That's the thing, but he's just never been able to put it together. But you look around the NFL, man, the quarterback of the Seahawks right now, I never thought anything of that guy. That guy's having a a really, really good season. He's the reason why the Seahawks are actually being pretty good this year. You know?
Yeah. There's been quarterbacks that sucked that went all the way to the Super Bowl and won, right? So what's that guy's name?
Trent Dilfer.
There you go.
Trent Dilfer. Bob
That's
Greasy.
all I had. I didn't have to say his name, and you're Trent
Bob
Dilfer.
Greasy Bob Greasy of the Dolphins was not a good quarterback, and then Dolphin fans want him in the Hall of Fame. It's like this guy wasn't a good quarterback. He was a backup that won a Super Bowl.
We've also got the top-ranked defense in the league.
The best.
Tell me that doesn't help Purdy, right?
The defense was unbelievable again. They literally had 2 bad plays this whole game. One was that first play in the game, the one that went for 75 yards to Nate Sherfield, ex-Niner, and the other being the Tyreek Hill on the deep pass play to Tyreek Hill, where it looked like Hufanga just completely misread the play and wasn't being the safety net that he was supposed to. He was supposed to be the last man back, and for whatever reason, the guy just jumps the in route.
That was just a blown coverage, right? I
think he thought the pass was going to the in route, so it looked like he cut in, was going for the second to last deep man, and just completely left Mooney Ward by himself one-on-one with Tyreek Hill, which is super scary. I mean, you just can't.
Yeah,
very few quarterbacks have that. Very few people in the NFL have the type of speed that Tyreek Hill has. So.
Man, I wish he was a Niner. I couldn't help but think that constantly. Like, why don't we have that guy?
yeah, absolutely. There's a free agent still out there that hasn't signed with the team, Odell Beckham Jr. I don't know how seriously the Niners would want to consider getting him on the team.
McCaffrey. I mean, it's just the stars out there. As long as they stay healthy, you could probably play quarterback. Well, maybe not, but I could.
If you're smart, you're calm, collective. If you have some confidence, which I think are some of his strengths as well, which we'll get to in a bit. But sure, why not?
As long as you're not fucking so small you can't see over the lineman. What was that guy's name last year?
Mullins.
Yes,
Mullins.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a soft spot
talent, but he's just too small. Like if he was in Pop Warner, he'd be amazing.
If he was taller, he would be better with a stronger arm. He doesn't have the natural gifts that you need to be long-term successful.
I wish I was a little bit taller. Okay.
I wish it was a little bit better. Yeah.
Beathard's
got a nice release.
Decent, but then
got a nice release. It was good for one game. Beathard's got a nice arm. Beathard has a nice arm. I got him scouted down.
I felt bad for Beathard because he finally won, and then Jimmy showed up like the next week. He finally got a win. He lost every freaking game, and then finally won one.
That's a good arm.
And then Jimmy showed up, and it was like, oh, okay, thanks, Beathard. Go hit the showers.
Beathard's got a good arm. I remember that. Yes, and I was excited about Beathard at the time.
Yeah,
oh my God, I totally remember that.
Really strong arm, but he has no accuracy.
He can't go. He has a strong arm, but he can't go that deep though.
Brett Favre.
He's got a nice
same way.
He's got.
No, he could go deep, but he can't get it to anyone.
No, but Brett Favre can go deep though. He's got a beautiful. Beathard has a beautiful spiral, and he can throw hard as hell, short and mid range. So it makes you think he could throw far, but he really doesn't throw far at all. That was the problem with him. We at the same time we do have to help our defense, so that's going to be on Purdy to continue to keep the chains moving. Because no matter how great your defense is, let's be honest, if you can't move those chains, you're going to make your defense look worse than what it is.
Yeah.
But that's the best defense in the NFL. I'm sorry. We just went against a team that was ranked number 1 in offense. I don't care if your O-line has an injury here and there. I don't care. I told you last week before the game, man, how many sacks did I say Bosa would have? Do you remember?
3.
And I got it.
Got it. We all know who had another sensational game, but let's just, the two of us, pick defensive player of the game in your mind. So you go first.
Okay, I'm going to give you...
I'm going
to give you the easy right, because we're both going to pick the same guy.
No, I got somebody different. I got somebody different.
You do?
I know who you're going to pick, so go ahead. Go get your fucking doll and hide him.
I can't pick him. Then you better pick my second guy then. That's only fair.
No, you should take him because I got someone else.
Well, you better lay down the law after I tell you.
You want me to go first so you know who?
Go ahead.
All right. Eric Armstead.
How many pressures did he have?
Dude, he's back, and it was so nice because all of a sudden you saw the effect that it had on Bosa. Bosa, it really makes a difference. He's not only there stopping the run, but he's also making people
either.
Exactly. And then Bosa's able to get around people and get all the sacks. He's going to be next game.
So I was hoping you picked Trey GreenLaw.
Yeah, well, Trey
he led the team in tackles. Led the team in tackles.
Yeah,
got a touchdown. No,
I think Drake. He's
Fumble
basically
recovery.
one of our. I mean, he's kind of like stepping up where Warner's like a little scared because GreenLaw probably has more votes for the Pro Bowl. I mean,
pick Dre GreenLaw because every week it's either Warner looks like the best. Remember, I said this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
it's either the Warner looks like the best linebacker in the league by far, or Dre GreenLaw. And it's like they're just flipping a coin before the game. Like, all right, you go and like make all the tackles, and then you go make all the tackles, and you know, you get an interception and you get a sack. It's like those guys are unbelievable. I think they're giving it a run for Navarre Bowman, and Patrick Willis is the best linebacker tandem of all time. I mean,
God, when Patrick Willis first came to the Niners, he was so fast sideline to sideline and made every tackle. That guy was in on every freaking play. I mean, there's guys like that right now, but he was incredible, right?
Unbelievable, yeah. So I hope they keep it up. Hope they, we broke our streak of not allowing offenses to score in the second half, but let's start it up again.
Barely, only one touchdown. Let's start it up again. Let's start a new streak.
GreenLaw, Warner, and Al Shahir are all Pro Bowl caliber guys.
For sure.
It doesn't matter who you're talking about, dude. These guys are awesome. And right now, to me, I felt like people were pushing GreenLaw out. I'm glad he got the contract. He deserved it. Now we get to push him in. I just hope we get to keep the other guy.
Yeah.
That's going to be an issue soon too.
Yeah.
But man, we are just great at picking up linebackers. And I got to give it to Bosa. Around the horn, I give it to Bosa, best defensive player. But I think GreenLaw was right behind Bosa. And the Armstead one, he did great. He changed the defense.
Yeah.
I mean, the defensive line better. I agree with you.
And then I just got Ortiz's pick in just now.
He's got a pick. Nice.
Jimmy Ward.
Don't tell me Jimmy Garoppolo was his pick.
No, Jimmy Ward.
He inspired the team.
Dude, Jimmy Ward has just became this player that I never thought he would become. I mean, when we first got him, I was not enthusiastic.
I was hating on him for years.
I used to just say, like, this guy can't cover anyone. And now it's like he's like a freaking god out there. So when we did Around the Horn, I kind of like did a little misdirection handoff and pretended I got a text from you. And I said, you picked Jimmy Ward, which you might pick Jimmy Ward.
You know what? You read my mind. So I probably would have picked Jimmy Ward. Yeah.
Making interceptions with broken hands and always right where he needs to be, right? See these parallels between, I don't know if you've seen this.
I think you would agree.
On Showtime, they have this documentary about Dio, which I know you'll love.
Oh, I saw it.
Have you seen that yet? You already saw
ago. I saw
you already saw it?
Theater, baby.
But I see this. You know,
it was great. It made me cry at the end.
The way that Dio kind of like started out, people were like, "Who's this guy?" He's like Jimmy Ward, and then later he's like, "Oh, he's like the best ever."
Ronnie James Dio, for those of you that don't know, is a phenomenal, fantastic singer. I think most of our crowd probably doesn't know who he is, but I'm going to tell you right now, that guy's a phenomenal singer. You know, I need to sing for Black Sabbath. He sang for Black Sabbath too, man.
Yep.
The guy's a legend. The guy's a legend. Let's talk about Purdy's strengths, weaknesses. What do you think about them? To me, it's anticipation.
Yeah.
His strength is anticipation. His limit, man, I've seen him throw deep. I don't think it's the best thing in the world. When he throws far, that ball floats on him. Man, it feels like a 3-hour game could take 5 hours with Purdy. And we're cracking up about it because he throws so slow. He slows down time during the game. We're cracking up about this for real, but
that's a good thing though. You know, like when athletes say that things start to slow down, that means they're actually seeing the game differently, and that's when they get better. You know, it's like Michael Jordan used to say that. Wait until the game slows down for you. You know, because after it does, like when Kobe started doing really well, it's because the game slowed down for him and he could just do whatever he wanted. and they're going to be able to manipulate and do whatever they want with him right now. Because, well, I wouldn't go deep too often because you don't want him to throw a lot of interceptions. But here's the thing: remember how we were passing the ball way, way more than we normally do with Jimmy G? Well, now it's time to run. Remember thinking a couple of weeks ago we were talking about how different the team looks, you know?
Well, the problem is that every team does this. Every team disrespects us because they don't respect Jimmy. They do a one deep safety and that's it, and bring up everyone up front. They're gonna do the same thing with Purdy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you right now, which means at some point you have to throw deep whether you want to or not.
Yeah, you got to open up the run,
and more than once, just to keep the defense honest. Keep throwing in the middle.
Your boy Mason looked good.
I love him.
He looked good, and that's what McCaffrey needed. He needed that because
he's a truck.
without Wilson Jr. out there, you know, Mason is just as good. I mean, he'll be just as good. He's got some learning to do.
58 yards this week off of 8 carries. I've been telling you about him, man. I liked him in the preseason too. He is a truck waiting to run you over. He is everything that the guy we drafted in the 3rd round was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Only the guy in the 3rd round ain't getting no reps for a reason. He hasn't earned them. But man, Mason's coming in and he's doing the thing that Kyle loves. And you know what that is? Got to dish out some punishment, baby.
Yep. And
got to dish out that punishment.
McCaffrey had another phenomenal game. I know we already touched on it, but that guy just alone, that was a huge move. I'm so glad we got him on the team because it makes a huge difference to have someone like him who, you know, on his, and when he played with the Panthers, he was the team. You know what I mean? So he's not used to being able to go like, oh, okay, I guess Debo has to do something now. It's my turn. It's more meat on the bone. I got to, you know. But so it's more power to the 49ers because he is playing at the top of his game. He's healthy, and we need to keep him that way. And I like that Shanahan, you know, he's been a little more sparing. And now we have Mason, who's just goes full blast, straight ahead, take you out if you're in the way, runner. And that's like Barlow kind of was, right?
I used to love Kevin Barlow, but Kevin Barlow was never really ready to take the load. That's what happened with him. He was awesome as a second stringer.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So, let's get down in the trenches, man. So what do you think? These guys now get in the huddle and they see a young kid that's leading them, right? But he's got a lot of confidence, like you said. So how did they do?
Yeah, so the offensive line struggled early, and that's probably the biggest reason that Garoppolo wound up getting hurt.
Ouch.
The play itself, where he was sacked by 2 guys, and it looked like he was just trying to get every yard that he could out of it, and you know, not take such a big loss on the sack, and that's kind of what caused that injury to happen.
Kind of looked like Steve Young in that last year.
Yeah, it was a blown assignment. Trent Williams blocked the guy to his right, let the defensive end or the linebacker who was blitzing on the edge come through untouched, and for whatever reason, there wasn't anybody there to block him. So I don't know if that was his man, or maybe there was a running back that was supposed to get there, or maybe there's just an extra guy that was try to get it just out of his hands, throw the ball away if he needs to. So I think it was a missed block. I think Trent Williams was supposed to block that guy. There was a couple other plays in the first quarter where it looked like there was some missed assignments. I know Aaron Banks gave up his first sack this game, so they didn't look strong. They weren't really getting the running game going early. Not a lot of holes.
Despite the fact that Mason looks good, right? I mean,
he looked good. Yeah. And in the first quarter, I don't think he really saw too many opportunities, right? It was mostly McCaffrey, and McCaffrey was getting stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Sometimes even as soon as he was given the ball, handed off the ball, he was getting tackled behind the line of scrimmage. So not a lot of running room. And I think the offensive line got better as the game progressed.
Yeah.
But in the first half, there wasn't a lot of running opportunities. And in the third quarter, the fourth quarter, you really started to see the holes open. We started getting some big pops. McCaffrey had a nice, I think it was a 20-plus yard game that got us down into the red zone. And Mason was he was strong. He was getting going in the third and fourth quarter. Really liked what I saw out of him. And although we didn't have the best pass protection all game, I liked how the offensive line improved as the game gone on. They didn't have a strong start, but they looked better and better as the game progressed.
So it sounded more like a C, maybe a C. What's their grade?
Can I give them? I think they started as an F-, and then they worked their way back up with some extra credit to about a B-.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's how you finish the game. It's not how you start the game. And if you look at the score, you would think, wow, they just completely dominated the Dolphins, and beginning to finish, it was just it was a good old-fashioned butt whipping, but it wasn't. It was a very close game, and we were able to get some much-needed points to put some distance between us and the Dolphins right at the end in the fourth quarter.
Me, I think if you're a coach, I think you go with the hot hand. I really do, and I think you ride that for a while. That's
what she said.
Yeah. Well, you got to go the outside a little. You go up and over. You got to hit the field from all angles. You got to keep it. You got to keep your team satisfied, to say the least.
Hey, real quick,
keep the opposition confused.
I'll forget this if I don't tell you right now, dude. This is so funny. I was watching Monday Night Football when I was a kid, and Joe Theismann, I think, was Joe Theismann. He was in the booth, and he doesn't know what to say. And he had the mic, and then the ref threw the flag, and he says, well, if he's going to pull that thing out, it's going to be because he means it. And the guys in the booth started laughing at him. And he goes, what? Oh, yeah.
That's
and they just try to move forward.
Oh, that's great. You made my night. That's great. Good timing. That's great.
So let's do some predictions for the Bucs coming to town with Mr. Brady, who grew up watching the San Francisco 49ers. He always wanted to play for the Niners, never will. Have you watched them at all this year? I really have not paid attention to Brady.
Very little, but I have.
Gronk's not there anymore, right? He's only there if they go to the Super Bowl and he'll re-sign.
Yes, he's planning on coming back to go to the playoffs. He's already.
Meanwhile, he just bothers people on the NFL Network.
Their offense has been struggling the last few weeks, and their defense is not the same. The Buccaneers have two wonderful linebackers that are both healthy. Their defense is still good. The big issue, the big problem that we should worry about, Tom Brady's never lost to a rookie. He's 8-0.
But he's not playing the rookie. He's
8-0 or
playing the
9-0.
Niners. I mean, I think that he's going to have a tough time out there. He's getting older. He's like 52 or something. How old is he now? 41? He's going to have a tough time with...
He's about 45. He's 45.
No way. He's like 41.
45.
But anyways. No,
he's 45.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's going to hit 50 soon.
Holy shit, he's your age? He's fucking old.
And he's... Hey, don't make me feel bad. He's born on my birthday.
I'm kidding.
So he's born right around that time. Hey, I worked on Lord of the Rings, Batman.
I think that here's the thing. Right. He's going to have trouble because of our defensive line, our linebackers playing at the top of their game. He's going to get sacked a few times.
40. Yeah,
I would think that he's probably not going to fare very well in this game. Well, we'll see how Purdy does. I guess that kind of dictates
a little bit of that too. Yeah. Well, their O-line's in shambles right now. They got quite a few injuries.
Whoa.
They're not doing very well. So 4 or 5 sacks. I'm gonna say, the only way to beat Brady is by getting to him. But it's really hard to get to Brady because Brady's not like every other QB, man. Brady just dives at the floor. Like you're trying to sack. Well, you're trying to hit Brady, and Brady's like, he's just diving at the floor. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Predictions. This is going to be a game where I think the defense dominates in the first half. We probably get about 10 points or so. Open up the scoring a little bit more in the third quarter, and then I think he's going to lead a little comeback. He's not going to win the game, but he's going to make it close, and he's going to make us sweat a little bit in the fourth quarter. I think we're going to win 30-24. And it's going to be kind of a nail biter fourth quarter. He's probably going to get the ball with about 2 minutes left to tie the game, and we're gonna thump him. We're gonna get that Nick Bosa closer sack again. I don't know. Did you guys talk about Nick a little bit in the game he had, and how it's kind of probably catapulted him into Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, and now that Armstead is back, you just see a huge thing that's happening, right? I mean, now they have to worry about Armstead. He's stopping the run. He's helping force.
He caused that interception by Ward.
Yep.
That was his pass rush that forced that play. Yeah, 30-24, 49ers in a nail biter.
Nice. Thanks for joining
Next
us,
podcast, we're going to have the right after the game, right? It's going to be Rapid React with Damon Bruce.
Not right after the game. It's
Not
going
right
to be
after
actually
the
on
game, but
Tuesday. But
Tuesday.
yeah, let people know that the great Damon Bruce will be with us, and we'll have Arango and Lucas, and it'll be a good show. So
Yeah, sounds like it'll be a pretty good time.
it'll be Purdy. Man. All right, man.
All right, guy.
Take care.
Take
Go
care.
Niners.
Tell Arango I said hi.
I will. I've gotten into some arguments with some Brady fans over the years. And, you know, he's been to what, like 50 Super Bowls or
Joe
whatever.
Montana's the greatest clutch quarterback in Super Bowl history or
But
playoff history.
The thing that I would always rely on I would say, oh, but you know, Joe never lost the Super Bowl. And then they just shut up because Brady's lost a few of them. Right? He's just been to a ton of them because he's good.
He's lost half. I mean, how do you lose?
Eli beat him. Eli beat him
twice. Right? Eli's not even that great.
Throw out your score first, and then I'll give you mine.
If the Niners put on the pressure, which I think they will, and the Niners can get 5 to 6 sacks, I'm telling you, I think they will. I think it'll be a lower scoring game, 17-14.
All right.
Niners, but I think the Niners have the better all-around team, even if they don't have the best quarterback on this day.
But Brady's kind of like an old go-kart. Sometimes he chokes. So I think that, for one, they base their offense a lot on getting the run going to open up the pass. But with a healthy Armstead, they're not going to be able to run. So once they pass, we'll probably get a couple of picks. Who's Brady's backup? Do you know? Well, after the concussion.
Don't know because he never misses a game.
After the concussion, he gets this right before halftime. They're really going to fall apart in the second half. So it's going to be 28-10 Niners.
28-10. All right.
And Ray is going to run back a kick for a touchdown.
They're waiting for that one, aren't we?
That's going to happen.
They're waiting for that. Hey, cheers to that. If you enjoy this podcast and you enjoy this show, you got to help us out here. Give us, smash like button.
And subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Big time announcement, too. Damon Bruce, the great Damon Bruce, is going to be on our show once again for the third year in a row. He'll be here next week. And he's not particularly a Niner fan, but he knows his football and he knows what's going on with everything. So it's going to be really cool just to pick his brain about what he thinks about the situation with the Niners right now. And yeah, so he's been a broadcaster for like 20 years here in the Bay Area. And
exactly.
I used to
about to mention he used to cover the Niners.
Yeah, and I used to do a regular spot on his show as Pat Summerall. So I don't know if anyone knows that, but definitely tune in next week. It's going to be a good one. Good afternoon, Donovan. That's what I used to always say. I used to screw up his name on purpose, like I was drunk. Pat Summerall. You love that. I'll play some of the old footage at the beginning of the show so people get an idea of
there you go.
The background.
Do that. Again, we both picking the Niners this week. Let's go, baby.
Go Niners.
Cheers. Go Niners. Have a great show, everyone.
Take care, Mike.
Have a great night.